Okay, so we heard Coach Prime's name attached to Georgia Tech after they fired their coach. Well, now Auburn, which is a much more prestigious football school, has fired their coach. And currently, Carnell Williams is the interim coach. Most people know him as Cadillac Williams. He played at Auburn, but he also played in the NFL. Very good running back. But people are thinking that Auburn is going to give Coach Prime a call to leave Jackson State and come there to be the rival to Nick Saban in Alabama. Now, of course, that makes all the headlines and everything. If it happens, everyone will want to see that as far as if you're in the media. But what do you think? Should he ignore Auburn if they call and make? Well, I don't mean ignore him. I mean you're gonna listen. But should he really consider not taking the Auburn job, or do you think it can be a good opportunity? And the reason I say that is because man, Auburn will fire you. They don't care if you win a national championship or what. You have a couple of down years, you out of there. So do you think that's the spot for him?
That's not a spot for him. I mean, you got to think about this is the SEC first of all, and we've seen coaches over the last few years just get fired. Um, I mean, Tommy Tuberville had a winning record and got fired from I can't remember what team it was, but I want to say it was Ole Miss. He got fired. Um, you see what you see the last couple of Auburn coaches. Some of them have had winning seasons, but you got to be able to at least beat Alabama every once in a while. And if you don't beat Alabama, I mean, it's just like Mississippi State and Ole Miss, or Ohio State, Michigan, or something like that. First of all, if he goes to Auburn, he's got to bring his son there to be quarterback. We know he's not going to start. This is the SEC. This different. It's not like going to an HBCU. His son can start there. You know, get a look see. From some of the damn scouts and stuff like that. It's better for him to stay where he's at for the next 2 years, and then if a SEC job or ACC job or something like that comes up, then make the move. I wouldn't make the move right now because I don't think he's been in Jackson State long enough to to get that big payday, so to speak. I need to see a little bit. I mean, he's done a great job for Jackson State, but I want to see a little bit more, if that makes sense, before he goes and signs a big time deal with Auburn or Georgia Tech or one of these other schools. He needs to do a little bit more. Let me see it 2 or 3 years in a row at Jackson State first before you go, jumping into another job.
Okay. And Ray, when I look at the list of previous Auburn coaches dating back to 1999, Tommy Tuberville had an 85-40 record, which is really good. And he won 5 bowl games. He lost three. But his final season, he was 5-7, and they got rid of him. He went 9-3, 11-2, 9-4. Then he went 5-7, and they got rid of him. And so then they bring in Gene Chizik, and Gene Chizik was 8-5 his first year. Then he went 14-0 and won the national championship. Then he dropped to 8-5, won a bowl game, and then 3-9, and they got rid of him after 4 seasons. So he won the championship in 2010. He was gone after 2012, and then Gus Malzahn, who came in 2013. I think he lost in the national championship. I think that year he was 12-2, and he had, I mean, like 10-4 in 2017, 8-5, 9-4, 6-4. So he never even had a losing record, losing season. Finished 67-35 overall, and he got fired. So, given the history of Auburn, is this something that you just, no matter what they may offer, do you think that it's just something you should pass on because they have unrealistic expectations to begin with? And then we're talking about the SEC where the competition is stiff and you're recruiting in the same state as Nick Saban.
Yeah, it's all a hustle from the begin with. I mean, everybody criticizing Jeff Saturday because he doesn't have any experience. Well, outside of his Jackson State experience, he's been a high school coach. And Everybody's saying, well, he can go here, he can go there. I have not seen it. Now, and I know all you need is a couple of good players, and you can run the SWAC. So, in order to give you a job, okay, if you go to Auburn, what are we talking about? Are we talking about a 5-year deal, $42 million, something like that, for somebody who has very little experience? Who cares if he gets fired after 2 years? He know he can go to another school, and that's what it's all about in the first place. But you say that, oh, well, why do you say that? And this, only thing I'm saying is we've been talking football a long time, and all I'm saying is take a look at the experience, take a look at what's happening, take a look at how many players are being recruited at 4 and 5 star, and you tell me what is supposed to be happening. If I see on the field that you playing against a well-coached team, well-organized team, and you beating that team consistently, and you want to move up, more power to you. I'm all for people advancing. But at the same time, if you want to get your son to the next level, and the first thing they tell you, well, I've been on the next level, what you gonna tell me? Yeah. Then people on TV should stop talking too then. If that's the case, only thing I'm saying is if you putting him in with CJ Stroud and putting him in there with Bryce Young, let him play some of that good competition. I'm not saying go to Alabama, one of them top schools, and get slaughtered in your own conference so we can see what that looks like. And then if you want to go coach another school, go coach another school. But from the experience that I've seen, do I believe that do I believe you can make the circus you making now? Yeah, because his whole thing is being relatable. I come in with hood and sunglasses on, and then I want you to call me coach, and I'm acting like that. You know, no slacks, no sweater. I'm coming in with a hood over my head in the summertime. And you say, well, hey, but never mind all that. We say, do you believe he can coach at Auburn? Yeah, he go there. He recruit a lot of people, get a lot of excitement. But like you said, at the end of the day, that 8-3, that 7-5, that 6-6, that's gonna be no good. You'll get 2, 3 years of that, and I don't think it'll get much higher than that. That's just me saying that. I'm not hating on anybody. I was told yesterday that he don't need the money. Well, if what he say is true, he was sent by God, and he's making a world of difference. He's making more difference in Jackson than he would in Auburn. Why in the world would you want to leave if you already got the money? Because that's what I was told yesterday. I'm just keeping it real. Not no matter whose side you on. Is that incorrect? Is that correct?
And yeah, I agree. If it's not about the money, then yeah, Auburn's a no go. But outside of that, I just think it's a place where coaches go to get fired. If you're a first time coach, you jump on that job because you're just looking for anything to make a nice payday. But I mean, Dion is already rich, and so
Yeah, but he
you
can
know,
double his net worth by signing one of those contracts.
yeah, yeah,
That's true. But I'm gonna tell you, the SEC factor has to play into this. Sylvester Croom is a great example of this. He went to Mississippi State. He tried to get the Alabama job, which is his alma mater. He wasn't getting that. And so he went to Mississippi State and he was there, 3 seasons, and he was gone. So, I mean, black coaches historically don't do well in the SEC. I mean, what hell, the white coaches don't
Cruz
either.
I
did
was
it to
The, bo-
I was going to
the
himself.
say it. It's only been like
He,
two, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's only been two. So, but
he
the
did it
bottom
to
line of it
himself.
is the white coaches don't do good in the SEC either. You have to win, and you have to win consistently. But as you just said yourself, Q. I mean, look at the coaches that's come through Auburn, and they have winning seasons. One of them had a winning season. Gus Malzahn had winning season every year, and they fired him. So you got to pick and choose where you go if you want to go. I mean, yeah, the money's out there, and Auburn gonna pay you. But this is the thing: boosters. If the boosters boosters don't like you, they will buy you out. They will buy you out. I've seen this happen. I saw it happen down in Florida State. If they don't like you, the boosters will make it. They will bring enough money to the stadium to make sure they buy your contract out to get you out of there. So you
Yeah.
better think about where you're going.
I think that if he decides to take that job, yeah, he can bring a lot of excitement to Auburn. He can bring some of his players with him, whatever he wants to do. But I just don't think that's the job I would want if I'm looking to establish myself as a head football coach. I mean, it's gonna be great money. It's gonna be great money. And even if you win, let's say he goes there and he wins, we see that Auburn has a track record that if you can have one down year, not even a losing season, they're going to fire you. And like Buck said, if they, for whatever reason, stop liking you, they'll get rid of you. So I'm not saying that he shouldn't jump to another school. I'm just saying, which I don't want him to. I want him to stay at Jackson State. But I'm just saying, if he does, don't let it be Auburn. Go ahead and go to Georgia Tech. I just, I just wouldn't want it to be Auburn, and I really hope that Carnell Lake can keep this job at Auburn because he seemed really excited on the sideline, like he was ready. He looked like he can still play running back right now. Um, I think he's 39 years old. He's not that old, so I would love to see him keep the job. And for a first-time coach, yeah, Auburn is a good place because even if you get fired, that's a stepping stone, and you've made a lot of money. But Prime is no longer a first-time coach. He now has coaching experience in college, although it's not Division One. So, just having said all that, I don't want to make Auburn my spot where it's not going to be a very good chance of success simply because they're very impatient. And if you're not winning a championship every year, then they may look to let you go.
You meant to say Cadillac Williams. You said Carnell Lake.
I meant Carnell Williams. His real name is Carnell,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, Carnell Lake. Boy, don't get me started on number 39. That boy could ball.
yeah. He can. He looked like he still play too.